So, today's masculine insight, it's gonna get real. So I want you to watch until the end of this video to see what you can do for me and for other men. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I do a lot of work with men in and through yoga. It's a passion of mine. So when shit like this hits the fan, it hits home. So let's talk male suicide. The highest suicide rate across the spectrum is male suicide. It's 5 times higher than female suicide. And there are many reasons for this, more than we can speak of here. And now I'm speaking to you about this today because a couple of weeks ago, somebody I knew from my youth at 50 years old decided that his only way out was to commit suicide. And it saddens me greatly that he thought that he had no one to turn to, and that he thought that he couldn't get help, or that somebody wouldn't help him. This is also not a rarity. Sadly, this is the norm. And it saddens me also that many men think that the only recourse that they have is suicide, and that is not the truth. So one reason I can think of is that we don't turn to other men because of the story we tell ourselves. So here's an example of a story that happened a few days ago as I was speaking to a man who was recently divorced and was having issues. Now, he felt that he couldn't turn to anyone for help or advice. And the reason for this is that he said he didn't want to burden anybody, of his family, his friends, or even society with his problems. Really? That, my friends, are the story we are telling ourselves. So then I asked him this. If a friend came to you, honestly came to you and said, dude, you know what? You got a minute? I have to sit down with you because shit's not good. I can use your help and some advice. What would you do? His answer? I would grab 2 beers, we'd sit down on the porch, we'd have a chat. So then I asked him, I said, would you ever think then that your friend is a burden on you for coming and asking you for help or for advice regarding his divorce, for example? And I saw the light go on. Okay, I said, so why in the hell would you think then that you are being a burden on them for your problems? Naja, typical German response. As men, this is our problem, or at least one of them. Look, as men, we have a community. We've just forgotten how to interact with it. We've forgotten how to access it. We've forgotten, in a way, in a group, how to use those masculine traits in a positive way. So look, if you're the guy who's sitting on the edge and thinking about suicide, I want you to pay attention to me very, very carefully. You are not a burden on anyone. Not your friends, not your family, and certainly not society. Your problems are important. You are important. Your life is worth saving. Now I want you to hear me again. Your life is worth saving. Go to a friend. Go to a family member. Go to a psychologist or even a social worker. They will help you. They will listen to you. Now, if you're the other guy, this is what I want you to do. I want you to grab those beers, coffee, wine, cigars, whatever. I don't care. You just sit your ass down and you listen. Because most of the time, listening alone is half the battle. So in reality, this is what you can do for me. End the cycle. Show men that we have a community. Show men that we are there to support them. The other you can do is share this video. Let people know that we are here as men, for men. Write in the comments, I got this. Whatever you want to write. Let people know how much support is out there for each other. Let them know that we have a community, that as men we have a community, that it is strong, that it is striving, that it is growing, that it is important to society. Let's show other men that as a community of men, we are committed to supporting and helping them and each other. Let's show that positive masculine traits have a great influence and a positive influence in our world. Let's start to use those masculine traits to save lives. And that is what you can do for me.